has been carried to many countries. In fact, through our 60 years of independence, Your Excellency, Kenya's light of peacekeeping and peace enforcement and peace mediation and peace negotiation has been carried to over 40 geographies. Haiti is just the latest of them. From Timor-Leste to the Balkans in Kosovo, from Iraq to Darfur, to DRC, to South Sudan, and to many other areas, we have carried our little light, and we have not been afraid that it will be put out.
The Ministry of Education, through its Cabinet Secretary, Julius Migos, has urged the university student leadership to call off the planned anti-new funding model demonstrations that was scheduled for tomorrow, 9th September 2024. According to Migos, the suspension of the protest will create room for open consultative conversations involving student leadership, experts, and other relevant stakeholders who shall be consulted with the primary task of previewing the status of implementation of the new funding model and make recommendations for improvement. Detectives are investigating the cause of the fire that burnt down a dormitory housing for Form 1 students at Isolo Girls High School. The cause of fire is reported to have started at 8 p.m. on Saturday night while the learners were in school. Local firefighters, however, managed to put out the fire without salvaging much of the belongings of the students. Luckily, no casualties have been reported. However, parents have camped at the school demanding a comprehensive statement from the administration. And Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni now asked the church to help in doing public education on hygiene, healthy living standards, and allow community health promoters to coordinate health activities in their churches. PS Muthoni advised the congregants on the need to observe general cleanliness and avoiding contaminated surfaces in order to avert mpox. Transmission rather. Nevertheless, 2 out of the 5 mpox patients have been declared healed and now discharged from hospital.
Principal Secretary, Ministry of Health Mary Muthoni has today asked religious leaders to allow health workers to do public education on health living standards and perform health practices in their churches. She noted that the Ministry of Health has enhanced surveillance and screening at the ports to curb the spread of the disease, adding that 2 patients have been discharged and 3 others are undergoing treatment in various hospitals in the country.
We have enhanced our surveillance and screening at the ports of entry, and that is why that's what we have done to ensure that the spread of this disease does not get to move so quickly. We are also advising people that it is important to protect yourself. Stay away from somebody who has signs and symptoms of mpox. Ensure you do not share clothes or items like bathing towels. Ensure you are able to clean your hands and keep yourself clean at all times.
PS Muthoni further informed the congregants that it is important to stay away from somebody who has signs and symptoms of the disease and avoid sharing clothes or items like bathing towels and cleaning hands at all times. She emphasized on the need to educate people on making good use of personal and environmental hygiene, saying that it is among the core objectives of Epuka Uchafu campaign.
This is a collective effort, and we have agreed with the church that they will continue to preach to the people on the good ways, good public health practice issues at the household, with the coordination and collaboration with our community health promoters.
As the country continues to fight against the mpox virus, PS Muthoni insists that the good health begins with the individual responsibility and calls for everyone who has symptoms to visit the nearest health facility. Collins Wekesa, KUTV.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has called out the Office of the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, for allegedly harassing elected leaders allied to him. As Dennis Monyi reports, this is after DCI confiscated funds belonging to Embakasi Central Member of Parliament Benjamin Gadhiru, or popularly known as Major Donk, and Embakasi North Member of Parliament John Gakuya, in relation to allegations that they might have been involved in the funding of protests. Listen in.
The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, while attending a church service at Kayole, has accused the Director of Criminal Investigation of using the criminal justice system to manage politics. In response to sentiments by Embakasi North Member of Parliament, whose funds were confiscated over allegations of funding protests, the Deputy President has said that the practice is a thing of the past, which made the previous administration very unpopular. He urged the investigative teams to deal with crimes in accordance with the law, saying that harassing elected leaders is counterproductive.
And I would like to ask our security officers from the DCI, please don't take us back to where we came from. The use of the criminal justice system to manage politics made the fourth administration very unpopular. It doesn't make sense to harass Gakuya and Major Dong for no reason because of politics. Arresting them, confiscating their phones, intimidating them. Those things imepitwa na wakati.
The second in command has urged fellow leaders to demonstrate humility and embrace servant leadership. He has called upon leaders to respect the people who voted them. Gachagua has said he will continue saying the truth, stating that time for cheating Kenyans is over.
Tusikue sisi ni bosses ya kukemea raia. Hawa wananchi hawa ndio walituchagua. These are our bosses. Hawa ndio wadosi wetu, lazima tuwasikize na tuwafanyie kazi. Sio kuwapigia kifua, kuwatisha, kuwakemea, kuwafanya waonekane hao ni wadogo, kufanya hao waonekane kama hakuna kitu wanajua. Let us be humble.
He also committed to continue with his fight against illicit brew, which he said has been a major problem with many young men and women being affected. He commended the security officers for their efforts in the fight against illicit brew. Gachagua also reaffirmed his position in government, maintaining that he will not be forced out by anyone. The Deputy President was accompanied by Embakasi Central Member of Parliament Benjamin Gadhiru, Major Dong, Muranga Senator Joe Nyoto, James Gakuya for Embakasi North, among others. Dennis Monyi, KUTV.
The Kenya Wildlife Service KWS has launched an operation to flush out hyenas in Juja, Kiambu County, following public outcry from residents. This follows a recent incident where a child was mauled by death by the predators. Caroline Kimwele with more.
The Kenya Wildlife Service has finally responded to the cries of residents of Juja, Kiambu County, following a series of hyena attacks in the area. Following a recent incident where a 4-year-old child was attacked and killed by a hyena, KWS has launched an operation to capture and remove the hyenas from the area.
Kwa sasa hivi operation ondoa fisi inaendelea. Tumekuwa na operation hiyo mwanzo wa mwaka huu na tuliweza kufaulu kuondoa fisi wengi, lakini tatizo hilo limejirudia tena na operation inaendelea na fisi kadhaa wameshaweza kuondolewa pelekwa mahali salama.
This operation aims to trap and locate the hyenas to a safer location after they caused fatalities in recent weeks, where hyenas were reported to have attacked children, women and livestock, causing significant losses and posing a threat to human life.
Area Juja iko salama na waendelee kufanya kazi zao wakiwa bila shauku, na kwamba wasikize watakuwa napewa ilani mara kwa mara vile operation inaendelea, ndio waweze kusupport na kusaidia officers katika hiyo operesheni.
The affected families have been promised compensation, while residents are urged to remain calm as the government works to control the situation. However, residents are warned not to steal or destroy the traps set, as such actions may hinder or prevent the operation. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV.
Now that story by Caroline Kimwele takes us to a very fast break on the broadcast tonight. Don't go far, we'll be back with more stories.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics, inclusive of but not limited to dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
You are watching Weekend Live with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Remember to keep engaging with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. Now, in a bid to attract more young people to farming, stakeholders in the agricultural sector are pushing for partnerships with technical and vocational training institutes. They believe that updating the curriculum and offering more agricultural courses will equip the youth with the skills needed to take on farming as a viable career. Brenda Nyongesa reports.
Stakeholders in the agricultural sector are calling for a shift in the Technical and Vocational Training Institute's TVET curriculum, urging for more agricultural courses to be introduced. This push comes as a part of a broader strategy to encourage young people to embrace farming as a source of employment. Agitech Expo patron Anyango, speaking during a curtain raiser event ahead of the October 2024 Expo in Mwea, Kirinyaga County, emphasized the importance of these partnerships. Ndungo highlighted that private sector stakeholders are joining forces with TVET colleges to not only enhance agricultural courses but also incorporate technology into farming practices.
Actually partnered with TVET, and especially the Mwea TVET, to be able to bring on board the youth, because we have realized that the youth have not been embracing farming. Through the collaboration of the industry, that is our stakeholders, Agitech and TVET, we have actually formed a committee that is actually trying to link up the TVET and the industry, that is the agricultural industry, so that when they are actually making their curriculum, it is actually made using what the industry needs.
He noted that many youths have traditionally shied away from farming, leaving it to older generations. However, Ndungo states that farming has become a profitable venture, with many young people now employing themselves through modern agricultural techniques.
We have realized that the old farming methods actually scared away most of our youths, because the youths walikuwa nasema kulima ni kujipaka matope na kujipaka uchafu, na kwa hivyo wengi wao wakatoroka kwa ukulima. In fact, when you look at the farming community, you realize that most of the people who are actually farming are old people from 55, 65 and above. But nowadays, the technologies that have come in have actually made farming to be cool. So I urge our youth to embrace farming.
Supporting this initiative, Dr. William Ngeno, Director of East Africa Yala Company, called on stakeholders to offer incentives and collaborate on programs that will attract more youth to the sector. He underscored the untapped opportunities within farming, urging young people to leverage available technologies.
Where does the farmer get knowledge? From their farmers, from sales representatives, from the phone. This is a new era. We are dealing with new threats that require upskilling.
The upcoming Agitech Expo is expected to bring together exhibitors who will educate farmers on best practices in the use of modern technologies to maximize profits. Anyango, KUTV.
Now let's move to news across our borders. As Kyiv continues its offensive inside Russia and Russian army nears a key hub in Ukraine's Donbas region, leaders of more than 50 nations known as the Ukraine Defense Contact Group met in Germany on Friday to help get Kyiv the support it seeks. VOA Pentagon correspondent Kala Bab reports.
As many of you know, we have a special guest here with us today, President Zelensky.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky attended the Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting Friday at Ramstein Air Base in Germany, pleading for Ukraine's Western allies to allow Kyiv to carry out strikes deep inside Russia.
We need to have this long-range capability not only on the occupied territory of Ukraine, but also on the Russian territory. Yes, so that Russia is motivated to seek peace.
Deadly Russian cross-border strikes with glide bombs have wreaked havoc in Ukrainian cities. The U.S. says Ukraine can use American-provided weapons like long-range missiles known as ATACMS to defend itself from these attacks. But it does not support using them for long-range strikes into Russia because officials say there isn't much tactical benefit from doing so.
As we look at the battlefield currently, we know that the Russians have actually moved their aircraft that are using the glide bombers beyond the range of ATACMS.
Western allies are deeply divided on the issue.
I think it's also important to be responsive to what I think is a very reasonable request on behalf of President Zelensky and the UAF. They've asked for this capability, and Canada believes that it should be supported.
The U.S. announced a $250 million aid package for Ukraine on Friday.
Time is of the essence, especially with winter on its way. And we must all step up our support, and quickly.
Austria! But while pledges continue, some weapons already pledged, including much-needed air defense systems to protect the Ukrainian population, have yet to arrive.
I will not speak openly now about the number of systems we have received. Thank you so much again. But the number of air defense systems that have not yet been delivered is significant.
Earlier this week, a Russian airstrike against a Ukrainian military training center and a nearby hospital killed more than 50 people and wounded hundreds. Carla Babb, VOA News.
The rural U.S. state of West Virginia is a Republican stronghold, delivering overwhelming wins for former President Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. U.S. congressional correspondent Catherine Gibson went to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, and to see how the 2024 election season is playing out.
Late summer in a West Virginia tourist town. Families having fun before the return to school and cooler temperatures, and thoughts turning to the dramatic change in the presidential election, from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris.
It's going to attract a lot of the female vote, the minority vote to her, but there's no substance there. She has nothing to run on, no track record to run on.
West Virginia has consistently delivered former President Donald Trump some of his strongest wins. But voters here are worried about the 2024 election.
It makes me nervous because, to be honest, I'm a Trump supporter. But I think everybody who was kind of unsure will now go with Kamala.
This rural state plays an outsized role in national politics thanks to its only elected Democratic official, Senator Joe Manchin, who switched to being an independent earlier this year. He played a key role in passing major pieces of legislation for the Biden administration. But with Manchin retiring this year, Republicans are almost certain to pick up a Senate seat, with popular Governor Jim Justice in the running.
We mine coal, and there's been an attack on coal, and Governor Justice owns coal mines. So we expect to see that industry protected.
Many voters blame Democrats for the decline of West Virginia's main industry, coal mining. But West Virginia Democrats at the party's recent national convention in Chicago are trying to change that perception.
That is directly because of automation, because of the coal bosses automating away the jobs and switching to surface mining rather than underground mining. It's a convenient scapegoat to blame environmental regulations.
Justice's Democratic opponent, Glenn Elliott, tells voters that Republican control has not been good for the state's economy or growth.
We have to encourage small business in ways that hasn't been happening, and we have to keep our young people there. Our state legislature keeps passing really restrictive laws like the abortion ban, like anti-LGBTQ laws that are basically sending young people a message that we don't want you here.
But in this strongly pro-Trump state, most voters place the blame for economic problems on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Why would you want to pay $1 more for gasoline? Why would you want to pay 25% more for groceries? Why would you want to have a mortgage interest rate that's doubled during the Biden administration? And she has to own that.
In a poll conducted in late August by a West Virginia news organization, Trump leads Harris by 27 points. Catherine Gibson, VOA News, Berkeley Springs, West Virginia.
Now on that note, we are taking a very short break. We'll be back with sports.
Ni kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Welcome back. And in sports tonight, the Nairobi City Marathon was today graced by Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Sports, Kipchumba Murkomen, bringing together over 15,000 participants. The winners of the competition received rewards from the Ministry of Sports, and according to CS Murkomen, Kenyans should embrace mental health by participating in such events.
The third edition of the Nairobi City Marathon took place on Sunday in Nairobi, bringing together over 15,000 participants. Eliud Magut won the men's 42-kilometer race in 2 hours, 9 minutes and 47 seconds, followed by Josephat Bet and Emmanuel Sikuku, who ran 2 hours, 10 minutes and 1 second and 2 hours, 20 minutes and 5 seconds, respectively. Cynthia Jerotich finished first in the women's 42-kilometer, clocking 2 hours, 28 minutes and 2 seconds. Lilian Chebi and Paris Jeprono finished second and third, respectively. In the men's and women's half marathons, Robert Kiprop and Marion Kibor finished first, while Amos Kipkemoi and Edna Kibot won the 10-kilometer race. Kiprop was followed closely by Wilson Tor and Timothy Samayo, with Kibor coming ahead of Gladys Chepkurui and Sharon Kiptugen in that order. Kipkemoi defeated nearest competitors Felix Kibet and Gibeon Kipchetich, while Frida Ndinda and Vivian Cherotich finished second and third behind Kibot, respectively. This year's event drew 15,000 people and was attended by Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen and other officials. The top three finishers in the 42-kilometer race earned 3.5 million, 2.25 million, and 1.5 million, respectively. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now that is it from us tonight. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with us tonight this far. And today's shout out goes to Mundalo Advice. Thank you for tuning in. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Kierie and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.
Are you an aspiring